Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shadow of the Colossus. My name is Ark.
I'm your friendly neighborhood random ninja.
And today we take on the 5th Colossus today, our first flying one, Avion. This one, I wouldn't say, he wasn't hard, I was just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment. He's not necessarily difficult. He's tricky because of the placement of the major sigils. And he's definitely a pretty big roadblock, just if you don't have the timing down and you don't have the controls down and sort of a base knowledge of the mechanics down.
I think I was just being stupid control-wise, because for some reason, like, the first sigil that I got to, I took my bow out and I tried to shoot it instead of my sword trying to shine my light on it. I have no excuse for then. I was just being really stupid.
Yep, that sounds pretty stupid. I can't wait to see that and make fun of you for it. Boy.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
This one, you destroyed me.
And I didn't even do that well. From what I've seen a couple of runs of Avion where people have actually, during the barrel roll he does, they let go and land on his back perfectly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you get the lizard from that save shrine?
I think I had picked it up before.
Oh,
Like in my travels, kind of like in my lizard gathering travels.
okay.
I don't know. I've just been following the guide and going wherever that one's going, essentially. So
I
go ahead.
Full disclosure, I had a few runs here. I had time to practice the jumping off of aggro into the water technique, which I finally used in my video, just because I did want to show off what it might look like if someone were really good at this game and were doing Avion.
And here it took me a while to figure out where the heck I was going, because I was like, where am I going? And I didn't see the archway until a little bit later. And by the way, I hate swimming in this game, and I'm not looking forward to Hydrus when we have to do him, because I'm assuming that he's a water one.
He's mostly an underwater one, so it's the diving rather than the actual swimming.
Great.
And as accurately pointed out in the thread, diving is much faster and less wow, that was interesting.
What?
Your feet were just kind of kicking up above the water for a while there.
Yeah, I guess so. And then this is where I noticed the archway, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can dive underwater over there and get to him. I have to say, Avion has probably been my favorite Colossus so far, just from the unique aspect of getting on him, as well as just his I guess you could call it combat design.
Yeah, and he doesn't really attack you. Like, there's no threat to him other than just not grabbing onto him.
Right.
Actually, I showed this off in my run, but I showed you the fully charged jump, where if you hold
Yes.
down the jump button, and you
Yes,
almost
I did
did it
notice
right
that.
at the end there. But much like with your sword strike, there is a visual indicator of when it's fully charged on your grip meter.
I had noticed that on your run, as well as full disclosure. I do fall off quite a number of times on this run. But what I did was I cut down the footage from mostly just the swimming portion of it. So the only time that you'll see me swimming is when I'm trying to first get onto him, and then after that, all of the swimming portion of it is cut out, so that you don't have to watch me aimlessly swim around.
God, that's a pretty Colossus.
Right? But design-wise, he has been my favorite so far.
The inspiration from him was definitely taken from, and I want to say it's almost like the tail from Pidgeot.
Yeah.
In Pokemon. Oh, that's smart, using the sword's light from up here. I didn't even think of that. This environment's gorgeous. And yeah, the long swim up to Avion is really quite unfortunate, just for how long it takes.
Yeah, it is quite a long swim. And I actually missed the first time to get on him.
Oh, do you? Something I wish I'd shown off, and I'm not sure if you show off in your many times of falling off, but you can jump from these stones, and Wander does a really, really long jump.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I did show it off, but like his first swoop down, I was on the wrong side, so I missed getting on him.
Oh yeah, and you have to be right in the middle. Well, at least he loops back quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw, but when you fall off, sometimes he just refuses to loop back around.
Yeah. This is my favorite. That, like, just that portion of it is just my favorite way of getting on a Colossus.
It's so interesting, like, that you just have to grab on, and you can't move Wander as Avion climbs. You have to just sort of hold on for dear life.
Right. Which is where that extra grip meter comes in.
Yeah. You were in a real predicament there.
Yep, a little bit. Now here comes the process of me figuring out, oh, how the heck am I going to get up there?
So an interesting mechanic in the Avion boss fight is the actual wind from his movement.
Right, because
you can't move easily as he's flying, and you're constantly being pushed back by the wind.
Right. So this is me being stupid coming up in just a minute, because I end up getting to the sigil, but I don't have my sword out.
And then, yep, there you go. The slow fall
of doom.
Of the wind. The being pushed.
So then we cut ahead to me getting on him. As you can see, my time is just... Like, that's... I think this fight is only 5 minutes of me on the Colossus. The rest of it is just me swimming.
Oh, yeah, he does... You know, all 3 sigils do a decent chunk of his health. And there you go, again, being pushed by the wind.
And that's where I figured out, I'm like, okay, so the other sigil's probably on his tail.
Yeah. Nope, nothing to grab on there.
Yep, and there's my second fall of shame.
It's a good thing there's no rigid body physics in this, or else that water would be pretty deadly.
Well, any fall from these would be pretty deadly.
So I'm not sure if you've looked at the time attack artifacts at all. One of the tips and tricks on the Shadow of the Colossus wiki is after you complete the normal time attack and you want to go fight Avion again, just use the cloak of desperate. Wow, that was lucky. The cloak of desperation, so you can fall off and live, or just don't fall off. Why is that a tips and trick? That's the worst tip in the world.
That
if
is
you fall
pretty
off,
funny.
You won't die.
But yeah, you actually got pretty lucky on your run as well with that kind of thing. I'll point it out later. But this is when I actually nope. I don't even get it. This is my third fall without even starting killing him.
Starting the encounter properly.
Yep. Yeah, this is just me being stupid. Like I should live by the philosophy: when in doubt, just grab.
Yes. Yes.
And this is where I actually start getting the feel for his like pattern, I guess, of when I can stab at or just get to his wings in general. But I think and here I actually do an extra stab, not realizing that the sigil had disappeared.
Yeah, so we've now reached the point where some of these sigils we can take out in one hit. One fully charged hit is all it takes. So his sigils, which take off 15% of his health apiece, we do that in one fully charged stab. So you can see how we're getting more powerful just from killing the Colossi even now.
Yeah, and I actually get really unlucky on his tail sigil, because at the end of it, I think I just didn't charge up just barely, not enough, and he has like a little minor stab. And I don't know what happened there. I think I just let go at the very inopportune moment.
Yeah, you just got pushed off by the wind again. My first run, I did nearly flawlessly.
Oh,
and I got all 3 of the sigils. They were gone. Couldn't stab anymore. But he still had a little sliver of health.
Oh.
There's nowhere I could stab. Like, I shone my sword, and there were no weak points left.
Huh.
So that was fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I actually do the tail pretty well. It was definitely the easiest one, because you don't have to deal with flapping wings.
Yeah, you could just go for it. So it's definitely the right one to leave to last.
And this is actually the first Colossus where it's not on their head. See, I left like a little bit right there. So my final time for that was pretty much an even 12 minutes, as you see Wander falling off right there. And with 4 falls. Mostly by my own stupidity.
Entirely, you know.
Yeah,
if
entirely.
We're being perfectly honest. Look at all these platforms around the area that you just don't use at all.
Right?
It's such an over-designed area for... You need those, like, small wooden platforms, and then the rest do nothing.
But
just
the aesthetic of it is awesome. Like, the eerie, like, graveyard-looking thing is just, like, perfect.
Yeah, the sunken ruins kind of aspect. And it... Finally, the Colossus is far enough away, you see the tendrils just snaking their way across.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool to watch.
And if you swim underwater, you'll actually see them go underwater to get to you.
Yeah. And now we go off to your run as you show off your charge jump.
Which is super useful in climbing many a Colossus.
Yeah, I will be sure to utilize that from now on.
Not Avion. Fun fact, don't jump on Avion's back. Definitely don't think, oh, I can just jump over there.
That doesn't seem like a very smart idea.
Well, it's not, as 2 of my runs can tell you. The introduction for Avion, just it flying around its arena is really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the longer ones, though, because you have to wait for him to perch down.
Yeah, and then you still have to swim to...
Right?
Swimming's not good.
No, it is not. It is definitely one of their, I would say, like, least amicable mechanics in this is their swimming.
I don't know why they did it that way. Is it to punish you? It must be to punish you. You fell off of Avion. Fuck you.
And the reason why I started yours a little bit later was because I actually started the timer a little bit late on mine, so I just wanted to make sure that I was on an even playing field kind of thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This is one of those bosses where the timer probably could have been started. Because he's so passive, the timer could have been started once we shot him. But either way, as long as it's even. It's not like we really...
Yeah,
actual competition.
Honestly, it didn't matter. It did not matter, as you'll see from your run. I'm not going to spoil it, but you destroyed me.
It kind of spoils it.
Well, they don't know by how much. I like how you were just aiming for his head. I'll just shoot him to get his attention.
Well, you can't actually do any damage to him, so I wasn't going to try to hit his soft spots. So I may as well go right for the head. If you're going to piss him off, do it with style.
Right.
One of the other things interesting about Avion is that he is fully passive until you shoot him, and he can't attack you at all.
Right. He was the first one that doesn't actually... He just flies around, and he doesn't...
Yeah. Well, he'll just sit there. Until you shoot him, he'll just sit there. He won't do shit.
Right. And he doesn't actually do anything besides the flip to try to get you off. Other than that, he's just flying around. And you got really, really lucky right there.
Really, really lucky there. And it didn't even put me that far back, and it gave me a lot of time to recharge my grip, so it actually kind of worked out for me.
Yeah.
See, I almost fall off again there, struggling with the wind.
Yeah.
And Wander being an idiot.
Yeah. So, like, I remember from, like, watching... Because I had watched Jacksepticeye play his original... Like, the remastered in the PS3, he was like, and his biggest gripe with it was the physics, and I can see it a little bit in this. Is sometimes
he'll grab on to things that don't make sense to grab onto. Like, he grabs onto that spike along the wing a lot, rather than grabbing onto the fur when he should.
Right.
So there are definitely some issues there. And then again, walking against the wind is really a chore.
Yeah, it is. I would say that you got very, very lucky with your run as well.
I wish he hadn't been flapping about so much right in this section. Because there's no sort of mechanic that says, oh, you stabbed me twice, I'm going to flap more now. It's just he did a bunch of turns, and when he turns, he flaps.
Right. This is really cinematic. The way that I did it, I was actually facing towards the tail, but you were facing his body, so that was a pretty cool shot.
And I got lucky that it was just straight there for me.
Yeah.
There's no...
And your final time was 2 minutes and 49 seconds, so a little over 11 minutes, or 9 minutes faster than me.
Something like that. Yeah, who's counting, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
who's counting? Just you to hold over my head.
Time attack time for Avion on PS2 and PS3 was 5 minutes and 30 seconds for both difficulties. So far, time attack for the PS4 remaster on hard is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So, you were close.
Yeah.
You were not quite double the... no, double time about that. So, you're making progress. You know, you'll get there eventually, bit by bit. Don't fall off next time, I think, is really the key there.
I think that's going to be the key. Alright, so that was Avion. So, like I said before, so far this has been one of my favorite Colossi. Or Colossus, whatever. Both design-wise and the fight. Like, it wasn't a difficult fight. None of them have been really difficult. It's just getting the mechanics down and figuring out what you have to do, which has been the biggest issue for me.
I love its statue as well, just the beak on it.
Yeah. Okay, so in the next episode, we'll be going underground to fight the giant Barba, which I thought at first was going to be a lizard. Boy, was I wrong.
No, Barba is barbe, which is beard in French, you dingus. Come on.
I don't
Learn
know
languages.
That. I do know languages, sort of.
Well, clearly you don't if you don't know. Like, when you think about it, he's got a beard on a statue, man.
Okay, I wasn't
How does
paying
that look
attention.
like a lizard?
I wasn't paying attention to the statue. I'm sorry.
Now you know. It's not a lizard.
It is not a lizard.
Ostensibly, the next one, also not a lizard.
No, it is a sea serpent that goes underwater, which I am not looking forward to.
Sea serpent would actually be a lizard. It's Neil.
Okay, now we're getting Mr. Technical over here. Alright, so our final scores were 12 minutes with 4 falls for me, and you destroying me with the 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and no falls for you.
I shaved off less than 10 minutes. I'll still give you the win there.
Yeah, you'll still give me the win. I don't know. I still have that Phaedra win on you, so I'm still holding my laurels for that one.
It's the moral victories.
Okay, so that's going to do it for this episode of Shadow of the Colossus. In the next episode, we'll be taking on Barba. And then after that is Hydrus. So as always, I'm Ark.
I'm RandomNinja.
And we will see you all in the next episode.